and not make stupid things. I don't know. Okay, and I will share my screen. Why it's not working again? You see my screen now, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So I also, because I want to see you also when I speak, I will connect from the second computer. I think it will be better. But last time we speak about and the information, the digital information in general. I have two lessons are basic from my perspective to everyone that work in our website, and this is the second one. In this, I just connect from the second computer. Just a second. Just a second. Okay. It will connect in more few seconds. So in this lesson, I try to be more focused and about how we make the data, how we make the information, how we make the research, and it's this kind of presentation, lesson, discussion, how you want to call it, is more answer to question like, I didn't visit Barcelona. How can I find the information if you not give me, if you're not making records that explain me how to find the data and how I work? And even if you understand that someone read what you write and work on this article or this information, even so, it's sometimes you don't know from where to begin. For example, if I ask from Theo to make a post in the Facebook about Sagrada Familia, and she can ask from where I found information about buying ticket in advance or not. Let's say that I didn't give any direction, I didn't give an audio, I didn't write anything. I just say to you, make this post, okay? And then I will read it, and if I have something to add, I will do it. Or I ask for Emmanuel to make a page about football. And he can ask me, I never been in Barcelona. I didn't know the difference between sitting on the long side of the stadium and sitting in the short side. How can I make this information? From where I start to make this article, from where I started to begin? And I really think that two of you will be interesting about this stuff because actually, for my opinion, people that deal with content, that both of you deal with content in the internet from other place, I think need to understand it because a lot of people are making an article in the internet. Sometimes are, freelance. Some of them work for websites. Some of them do things to their their business. And when you deal with content, the way how to build information, how you creating information in digital tourist content is really important from my perspective. And this lesson is how to understand the information and how to write it and explain it to the reader. Of course, it's very, very basic. You can make a PhD just about this question. And people learn it, sometimes years. But I think from these basics, it can really help you. And I know from my experiments that after I explain this stuff to people that work with me, it's changed a lot the way how they get to every article that they do. So you have any question of if you have, because I didn't see you, so you can stop me, ask, okay?
Okay.
When you have any questions, something that you want to add, ask, feel free, okay?
All right.
Okay.
So what is information? And what we mean information? And you can see all the writing and all the data and all the definition here. I didn't want to read it. You can read it by yourself. But I give more focus to some word here. And when we speak about information, I very like the simple definition that speak about organization data that giving meaning. So the difference between just the data or just word is the things that we make organized of the data. So we take this data and make it organized in some way, and we give it meaning by this organize of this data. And I didn't stop with this definition. I use with the other definitions that we take from Wikipedia. It's a very simple one, because I really like this blue 3 words that answer to a question. Because if we say that we make organization of data and we want to give it meaning, actually the meaning is that we answer of questions. And we organize it, and then from the business definition of information, we speak about organize for purpose. That this meaning is relevant for someone or something. And most really important is what is the blue place in the blue words in the number 4 place of this definition. This is not just in data. It can lead and increase the understanding and decrease ununderstanding, uncertainty. I hope I say it right, this word. And the effect of what is important is effect of behavior, is help to make a decision or an outcome of someone that get our information. So this is the big idea of information. And to be honest, people that deal with content, that understand this definition, just understanding this definition make you different from, I think, 50% or 60% of the people that make an article in the web. There is a lot of, we have a lot of content in the web. There is a lot of an article in the web. When you ask in English, or I'm sure that in Romanian language, it's also you can find a lot of information. And you can find a lot of data, not information, but good information is not something that you find very easily. It's not something that you can find a good place, because sometimes in the internet you can find the same word going in the different way, that because the people that write the content, just change a little word and make it new article. And you can find something, sometimes the same word or the same content in different words or different way of thinking in thousands of websites. So when you understand this definition of information, and when you understand that actually we not write an article in our website, we make an information, make you a different from, I think, more than 50% of the people that make content in the internet. And I hope you understand more when we finish this presentation or this discussion between us. So when we take it all together, we understand that we not make an article. We just know, we're not just writing word. We are trying to increase the understanding of our reader or our user. We try to help them to decrease the ununderstanding, the problem of they don't have a knowledge. We try to organize this information or this data to propose. We know that our user and our people, the people that read our article, they read it for something. They not read it, for the fun. They read it because they have something that want to achieve from this information. And most of the time they have some questions. Some of them, they come from this question from the home. And most of the time they don't really understand how to ask the question. And sometimes this is the problem. That our reader knows they have a question, but it's not all the time they know what is the question. But they come to our article or our information because they want answer. These questions that they know and the questions that they didn't know. And we make this information because we want to affect the behavior the decision or the outcome of our user, our reader. So we're not just writing word, we're not just making article. We actually want to affect about what our reader going to do and how they decide from where to visit and how to visit and what to buy and how to buy. And our information need to help them to do so and actually make a decision. So this, what I say now actually is not just for tourism and not just for our website. This is what's different between data or it's just words to an information. And when we speak about, when this is the map of what we're going to speak in this meeting, on this discussion. And we finished to understand, I hope, what is information from my perspective. And we understand that information is something that's different from a data, but it is based on data, but based on data that we need to organize it for answer to a question like we explained until now. But we have some problem, and that's we try to explain. We not have a problem. Sorry, I need to choose my word again. We understand that our reader and our user have a problem, and the information that we do is actually try to help them to understand and help them to make a choice or make them in the behavior. But first, because sometimes we need to know what they ask, and sometimes we need to know what they need to ask and what they're going to ask after they start to read us. We need to understand first who is the people that read us and for who's the people that we write for them. Who's the people that we make information for them? Because when we understand what is the profile of our user, of our reader, we can understand better what's their problem and what's their question and how to help them. So let's speak a little bit about our user. And actually, to be honest, in the English world, is actually the population that I want to achieve. In this moment, we don't have a lot of visitors. And for the English website is mostly the people that we want to will read our stuff. In this moment, they're not coming to visit us until now. And in the Hebrew side, this is more or less our population. Okay? There is a difference, but this is the people that we speak to them in the Hebrew side. And actually, we try to achieve this population also in the English side. So the age is between 25 to 55. From perspective of generation. We speak about what we call in business sociology the baby boomers, X generation and Y generation. If you want to read more about it, you can, because every generation have his character, and also every age has his character. The income level of them is average and above the average. They are not rich, but they are not poor, because they are travelers. They're going to, they're tourists, but they are not a rich tourist. If they are rich, most times they not have the power to read our stuff, and they not need to. Most of the time, the rich people don't, not waste their time to thinking where to buy the ticket in football game. They don't care to spend more money about it, and they have people that help them with this question. Most of the people that deal with this kind of questions are regular tourists that in the average level of income, or a little bit more than this, or not a little bit more than this, but they are not, rich one. They are educated. Most of them have more than high school education. Most of them are students in this moment, not just for first degree. Some of them are second degree or PhD, all graduated. They are finished their school. But most of our readers are educated, because we are speak for educated people. In our content speak for people that educated. I separated in the football things, because the football things is more speak for more wide of population, or maybe the attraction page. But think about our destination page, our landmark page. Our stuff, our content is really deal with people and give people that most of the time we speak like people that are educated and not people that are not. Of course, we're not. I will say, if you think about it, we didn't say for anyone to leave, but it depends about how we write our content. That's what I mean. From the career perspective, most of them are in job that need educated. Some of them are, have their own business. And some of them use with the public service. And but what is important to understand, again, they have more than the average of income level, but they are not in the high level of the pyramid of the organization. They pay, what I try to say, they pay about their travel. When I go from the university and the university pay for my, when they send me to make a job talk in somewhere or in some conference, when they pay me about the fly, about the hotel, I less care about how to find good price of hotel, because they give me back all my money. But when I pay my money, when I pay about my travel, I take more of thinking how much to pay about the hotel and how much to pay about the football game and so on and on. So we come from understanding that the people pay from their travel and not company or organization pay for them. They are interesting, most of them are interesting in traveling, is very common. They have, every one of them have another, interesting area like food, music, sports, and so on and on. Of course, what is the connect people that come to visit our website? They are interesting more or less in travel and tourism. And what I say to you is more about what we know today about our Hebrew users. In the tourist status, this is something that's very important. We have two levels of what is the status that we do. First, they come us to plan their tour. They come us before they go into the destination to make the plan, where to visit, what to do every day, what the hotels that they want. This kind of the content they ask before. It's a car rental, to buy a ticket in advance in a football game. And in these times, they mostly do the work in the desktop, and they do a little bit pre-reading in the smartphone. So what I mean pre-reading, 80% of the orders of hotel or tourist in the website is still in the desktop. But 60% of our visitors are coming from the smartphone. So what they do actually, they started to search of information in the smartphone when they are in the car, not when they are driving, when they are in the bus or when they are in the train, or when they have their time in the smartphone. But then, well, they are going to the maps, and then they are going to buy the hotel. Most of them are changed the platform to the desktop. It's something that we have a lot of people that use with desktop. But during the travel, we have a lot of visitors that come during the travel. For example, they're now standing next to the Sagrada Familia, and they want to know what they see, what to read, what to do, how to buy the ticket, if to take tour guide or not. This kind of tourist, most of them, more than 80% of them, use with smartphone. And what I try to explain here is that is important for you how you write your content. Because Theo, when you write for the Facebook, most of the people that they read the post, they are not in Barcelona in the time that you write it. They are in something that thinking about visit Barcelona or not. They are thinking about interesting in Barcelona. Actually, in the Facebook is something else, because in the Facebook, most of them not even in the plan platforms. They are more interesting in the destination from a lot of perspective, because in the Facebook is completely another things. But when you write in our website and you write about photo, you need to know that there is a content that's important to people that see now Sagrada Familia, for example, and they see the lizard. if they want to understand what is this symbol. And most of the time they do it in the smartphone we are there, and sometimes they read before when they want to plan the visit. And actually it's different way how to write this content. They have important problems that we need to know. First, they have less of knowledge about the travel destination. They don't know a lot of things about Barcelona. You agree with me? I don't know if you're with me or not, because I speak a lot. I didn't know if you hear me or not.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, fantastic. So first, they have less of knowledge, very big less of knowledge, because they never visit the city. They doesn't know the language. They don't know how the metro and what is the geographical design of the city. They don't know anything from one perspective. They have the language barriers, and but from other perspective, they have a knowledge overload. This is the problem that I speak with you in the beginning of this presentation. Today we have a lot of content. We have a lot of content about Barcelona in English. You see it. When you try to write the content, you can find thousands of, maybe sometimes, I don't know how much, of articles that been written about the city. But not all the time is good content, and sometimes they have a knowledge overload. For example, what is recommended hotel in Barcelona? Actually, in Barcelona, you have 1,200 hotels, I think, that focus on tourists and not business hotel. I mean, more or less 1,000 hotel or 1,200 that focus on tourism. And you can find, I think, something like 200 of pages that have been written about what is recommended hotel. So, and every one of them, recommended or other hotel. So what is recommended hotel? You have a lot of knowledge. What is the recommended? You can write, you can read, I don't know, so much knowledge you have in the internet. How you know how to deal with this? And sometimes they have a problem that is very unique, and this problem don't have a lot of information. For example, I want to come with I'm disability tourists that come to visit Barcelona. They have, about Barcelona, they have so much content about this city, but there is not a lot of content about disabilities that visit the city. There is, but not enough, and not a lot of good one. Of course, for family and or issue of money, there is information, but not as a lot like other stuff. Another thing that we need to do is that our reader are expert and they know to deal with tourists. Most of the time, are expert touristics. That's what I mean. That people that not, this is not the first time that make the tour. Most of the people that read us a lot are people that actually that kind of expert touristic. They are professional tourists, but not, professional is not a good word. They are not professional. That expert tourists, but they are not professional. Because there is professional tourists. There is people that they live like a tourist all their life. This kind of people actually not need us. They know how to find the information. They know how to deal. They know how to find nice hotels. They know how to speak with people. They connect to a lot of a lot of networks they have, friend of network, and the professional tourists not need us. And also the people that just, this is the first tourist they do, actually that so afraid to order in advance hotel in Booking or to order a football game in the internet. So this kind of, the people that, make this first time they go to travel in these years, after 20 years after the honeymoon, they are 55 years old, and then make any travel in the last 20 years, they're really afraid to buy things in the internet. They are not, regular for this. We're going to people that are experts. They know to deal with Booking. They know how to read the content. They know how to find. They know to read the map. They're holding a smartphone. They have a digital skills. They are more than the average. most of them are not traveling by themselves. Most of them are coming with a group of friends or a family, or with a couple, like a friend or a husband or wife. Because if they are going, when you are going by yourself, people that travel by themselves most of the time are in the professional tours. The people, like when you're going by yourself, most of the time you are more professional than experiments touristic. It means that the traveling is way of your life most of the time, and most of the time you come for more than 1 month to the destination. We speak about people that go with couple, with a group. They like to make traveling, but again, they're not professional touristics. And actually, we understanding when they read our article, they read this information or this data in other source. We are not the only places they search information. We are not the only place. We are not the first place, and we are not the final place. So we come from understanding that we are a part of the process they do to achieve knowledge, but we are not the only one. So we come from perspective when we make this information, what we find in the internet, they will find also. So we cannot just give them what we find in the internet. We need to do something else if we want to be good and want to give them value when they read us. Our user dream when they read us about perfect holiday, and to do it in the minimum fee, and they want to feel also good experiments when they going to this vacation, and also when they plan their vacation, and they want to enjoy from the process of the make this planning. And we need to understand this dream when we write for them, when we make the content for them. But we need also to understand the fear of them. And they have a lot of fear. They miss to miss something. They're really afraid to be screwed. They really, to someone with lie to them or achieve money on them, and this is something that everyone afraid for this. Even you pay a lot of money for your vacation, and you pay, I don't know, sometimes 5,000, not 5,000. This is shekel. You can find $1,000 about your vacation, and you understand that you pay for the tickets for one museum, €2 more, because someone want to give you to pre-order it, and it take from your fee. This €2 can make you feel, that you've been lied. This place is lying people. This destination is, full. Try to just take for my money, and it can make this all the vacation feeling bad or bad experiments just because €2. It's not matter that it's very few money if you take it in the vacations that you pay. It's just you don't feel that someone, you don't want to be screwed. That's what I mean. And they don't want to waste the time. They're really afraid from a line. When you have 3 or 4 days in destination, you don't want to waste your time to wait to get into the Sagrada Familia, for example, or to wait to get into the Camp Nou experience. You want some ways that give you sometimes when to come, that there is no line, maybe to buy in advance and give you the opportunity to achieve your time. They don't want to spend the time, or from our perspective, they don't want to waste the time. From other perspective, they don't want that someone will take for their money and say, let's jump over the line, but pay me more. And then they understand that if you don't tell them that you pay more, they can feel screwed. So you need to go something between them, between these two fears. They're really afraid from tourist traps and pickpockets, because again, they go to destinations they've never been there. Everything is alien for them, and everyone can actually lie to them, and actually can, you're not in your place. If you are in Romania, someone take from you your wallet, you know how to act. you can go to the to the police. You know where is the dangerous place. You know where there is pickpocketers, and to be more, be careful more. But when you go to destinations that you don't know, you don't know where is danger and where is not. You don't know what to do, and you actually, if someone take your wallet, even you can go to the police. You started to waste a time, and if you take your passport and you have a flight, and you don't have the opportunity to get into your home again, and you need to deal with this when you are in 4 days in vacation. All of these things make you fear to deal with this kind of situation. So when we understand this, that we need to understanding the fear of our reader, to understand what they know, to understand how they act. The last things that I want to speak with you is about the enemies they have. Every user and every reader that you write for him have an enemy, and you need to understand their enemy, because they are so afraid to be schooled, and because they understand they don't have a knowledge, and because they're all the time afraid for tourist traps, even what I call digital tourist traps today. They all the time think their website lie to them. They all the time think that line agency try to take the money, and because of them, that all the time we need to understand that tourist agency like like Booking sometimes, or Expedia, they look them very suspicious. Okay, thank you. So it can be enemy of them, because they all the time feel that they want just to achieve their money for them. And when we can connect to this feeling, and we can understand them, and when we make our content, for example, is not just Booking. Think about when you deal with football ticket, think about how people look Viagogo, for example. Just make Viagogo in the internet and see how people speak about them. And they are one of our affiliate, and they have this, the things are good and things are not good, and sometimes people get to place that look about this company as an enemy. So we need to understand it when we write for them, and when we explain it. So we need really to be careful when we speak about tourist ticket. We need to see that from one perspective we can promote our affiliate, from the other perspective that our reader not feels that we work with their enemy. I hope I explain myself right, because it's really hard to me to explain this understanding.
Yeah, I mean, I understood that.
Okay. So you can see that this, what I can now, we can speak about to our user for the of the level of age. This is the level of age in our Hebrew site. Actually, you can see that except that we have a lot of young people, more than other population, more or less in the age we really like what we try to achieve. More than 60% of our, more than 70% actually, of our readers are in the population that we speak for them. The youngest people, we don't say to them, leave us. We don't say to people that are young, you're young, you not belong here. But what we write, the content that we write, is less for them. We didn't deal with motel, we didn't write about, dance club, we didn't write about pubs. We speak about more things that interesting more older people. That's what I mean. You can see the difference between female and male. You can see that more than 60% of our readers are female. Actually, it's more or less like the percent of all the internet. Female read more in the internet or use more in the internet than male in general. And actually, they spend more money in the internet. But we need to be separated kind of stuff. For example, in the sports, in the football ticket, of course, is almost 80% of our readers are men, are male, and just 20% are female. And also in car rental, we can see also 60-65% is the male. So, but all the other issue the landmark, the area, attractions, the familiar rules in our reader. So when you write your content also is something that is good to think about it, that most of our readers are female. So, and also this just give it that we know in geographical, in the Hebrew site, we know to say where they live. In the English site, I cannot say anything about it because we have 2 or 3 people every day. It's just few numbers. So if it's interesting you, I can speak about the Hebrew side, but I don't think it's interesting. I can say one word that most of our readers come from the center of Israel, in Tel Aviv area. If you know Israel, it's the high blue here, but it's in the Israeli side, so it's not so interesting to speak about it. So this is our user. You have any question about it? You want to add something?
I don't have to add anything right now.
But everything is clear?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Oh, fantastic. So now we understand who are user. And I want to start to explain you how to make research and information for them. But I jump over this place. I jump it before to understand this meaning of how say it in Hebrew we say מידע מספק. In English, is satisfied solution. That's what I mean. It will be more clear when you read it. It's hard for me to say the word.
Satisfactory solution.
Satisfactory, okay. That's what I try to give. And I want to give you this understanding before we start about analyze the data and everything. Because maybe sometimes it answers to question for you that from where I really afraid because I didn't visit in Barcelona. How can I start any work about tickets in Camp Nou? How can I start any answer to a question like where to buy, if to buy in advance about Sevilla against Barcelona game ticket or not? And where I started, and I say that we deal about satisfied solution. And it's really important because we understand our solution, our information is never perfect. Because all the time you can read and make more research. All the time you can know better. All the time you can read more and make more analyze. But it needs to be when you need your information can give satisfied solution, not the perfect one. It will be all the time incomplete because all the time you can make more and more information and more page. It will be all the time incomplete and some things that we need to understand. But again, I say to you, we need to make satisfied solution, not a perfect one. It need to be considered about, how much is give us a profit. How much is profit to invest the time about this research? For example, this is small Q&A page about disability in Parkwell. I can go and make a video that just speak about this question and can take 1,000 of photos that speak about this question and write 200 of page about it and make interview with people with disabilities that visit this landmark, and then to make interview with the people of the management of this website. So I can do a lot of things that make information about this question. But the question is profit. How much this invest is good enough to do? How much people will read it? So it need to be thinking before we do it, how much to invest time in every kind of question. Another thing that's important to say is that satisfied solution is actually relative. It is something relative. It depends about who is your reader and what is your purpose and what is your needs and what your reader needs. And it depends on the feeling because satisfied is not cognitive things. Is actually it's cognitive things, but is not just rational thinking. Is perspectives that also depend on feeling and emotion. And if your reader you make it to be an emotion that they feel satisfied about what you give, You can sometimes give the same information, but in your one reader will be satisfied from it, and other will be not satisfied from it, and it's not depends about anything, just about his feeling and emotion. And it need to be also dependent about resources. If I not have a lot of money to do a research, so I make it less. My solution will be less. I will read. Not 1 hour. I not spend 1 hour about this article. I will just spend 30 minutes. So solution, when we understand information, need to be understanding that we speak about satisfied. And what I want you to do, when I say to you, just, Emmanuel, please just make 1 page about Q&A, about what is the benefit, about short line of the Camp Nou. And I want you, even you never been in the Camp Nou, after we do together the big page about tickets, after we make all our discussion, after you read everything, after you deal with these things, you have more advantage about your reader, because 90% of them also never been in the Camp Nou. They never been in Camp Nou, you never been in Camp Nou, but you have all the background. So sometimes, even if it's not perfect what you can give them, because you have more advantage on them, you can give them satisfied solution, not the perfect one. Of course, it's better that I can send you to every game to pay to you to drive from Romania to the Barcelona and visit every game of between Barcelona to Sevilla and between Champions League and between the Cup, and then you understand all the difference, and you can write the perfect article. But I don't have the resource to do so, and we not have the time to do so. We need to do another things. So when you have the knowledge that you have now, you have the opportunity to make this information in the understanding about our readers, that they've never been in Barcelona, they've never been in a Camp Nou before, like you, and they have less of knowledge, or they read in a lot of places, because when you write tickets to Barcelona, you can find, 1,000 of pages that will write about this issue. But what you have now, and of course, when you understand that I read it and I will change it and I bring my information and I deal with this issue almost 7 years, and I was in the Camp Nou more than once, and so I take your contact and make it better. But you not need to be afraid to use what you know and make this information, even you understand is not perfect. And I say to both of you, because it's also answer to you, Theo, sorry, can't you also ask this question? How can I take a photo of the Sagrada Familia and put it in the content? Because I don't know, I never been there. How can I do so? Because we know that you read our article, you also do something in the Facebook about connecting to the Sagrada Familia. And I know that you can do something in your level that understand, for example, that take a photo of the Tower of the Sagrada Familia and take a sentence about it in our page and make it to a good one that explain about the page. So don't be afraid for make this information or produce this information, even is not perfect, even is sometimes incompleted, even if someone make it better after. And what I try to explain in this presentation, that you need to know that all the time information is not perfect. I've opened the Hebrew site of Barcelona before 7 years, after I've been first time in the city. I still work and I still, change the detail in our Hebrew site even today. Every day we have a new information. Every day we change things. It's not just things that change in the city. It's more information that we have. But if I'm afraid to make the information in the beginning because I don't know enough, I never started. So what I try to say, don't be afraid. Understanding that you need to provide satisfied solution and not the perfect one is really, really, really important understanding. Of course, more so you are professional, more so you understand more than you will learn for us about the city, about the content, about everything, is your solution will be better. But every time what I try that you will do is to provide a satisfied solution. That's what I want to explain in this presentation, or this slide, sorry. You have a question about it or something that you want to add, ask?
No. No.
No, it's all good.
Okay, fantastic. So now after we understand it, we little bit come back to the research and information, and we start to explain about all this stuff. So first, we say that our user asking question. Some of the questions they know, some of the questions they don't know. And I separate it for this kind of group of page because actually every page have a different meaning. So when we do a landmark page, we have a lot of questions because the landmark page are very big, and sometimes we come for understanding that the user have one question, and when we start to read, he asks us more questions. And when we speak about SEO a little bit, we understand that also SEO understanding that we answer about question of people. Every searching of something in Google is actually a question. And our every page answer to other options of question. For example, landmark page ask all of these leads, all this kind of question. What is the landmark? What to do and see? Where is it? How to get there? How to combine with other landmark? Should I visit or not? What are the recommended tickets for this kind of landmark? To buy in advance or not? When or how to order them, the tickets? And again and again, all these kind of questions. Some of them aspect for is unique question, like I come with the children to Sagrada Familia. How I need to act? Is something that's good to the children? What to see them? If there is a ticket for the children or not? I have a disability. I'm using with wheelchair. When I come to Sagrada Familia, I can go to all the places in the Sagrada, or there is places that I cannot visit. I have a reducing ticket. I need to pay money if I have disability. If I come with car, I have a place to parking with. If I have disability, I have a parking for disability tourists. All of this kind of question have our reader. And when we can provide them an answer, and most of them in the basic level, you not need to be in Barcelona any time of your life to answer it. You need to know how to find the information or the data and structure it in way that can answer in the basic level. Of course, again, it's better than you visit this landmark and you take a photo and you check it by yourself, by your eyes. But in the basic level, for most of this question, the information is there, the data is there. The problem is not organized well. And that's the way that we are going in. And in the Q&A page is something that you work now, Emmanuel. You have specific question like to buy in advance the ticket for kind of game. What is the difference if to buy in advance for the FC Barcelona website? What is the benefit and what is the disadvantage for this? So it's not. Sorry, this is the play of my child. Let's start walking. Is not that the Q&A page is something that's more specific. It's specific question with specific answer, and it's different between the landmark or actually the issue page, like tickets for Barcelona football game or FC Barcelona football game is big review page. But when you have Q&A page, is something or a small page that related to specific term, is something that is more short in this kind of questions that you ask me. You ask me if it's just one paragraph, it's okay or not. And when you understand now, this kind of way is good is just one paragraph. It's good is just one paragraph because he asks real specific questions that users that read it. He asks is the short side of the stadium is good enough or not? This kind of question. You don't want to read, so much word. You don't want to read to see all our knowledge. He asks specific question, and you know exactly what he asks. So when he come to the specific page or this what we call an SEO, we speak it in the next lesson about long title. So he want to achieve specific answer. When he search Plaza España about landmark, actually we think that he still not know what he asked. He want to understand about the landmark, but he not know specific what is his questions. If we have specific question, we build for him Q&A page, and we use with H2 and H3, and we will speak about it in the next lesson. But again, the landmark page or the big page will be more have options for an answer for more kind of question. The small Q&A page will be more focused on the answer about the question. And when we speak about card game or a card page or interaction page, we have all the list of this question. You can read it by yourself. What I'm trying to explain in these slides that actually when we design information and when we write the article, we need to think what is the question that our user have in their head when they search in Google and when they read our article. And we need to provide them that answer. We need to provide them and help them. Some of them are really, really focused on behavior. For example, if to buy and order the Barcelona card in advance or not, or in order it all, if it's recommended for me or not, this is very specific answer. And our page need to help them to give and to decide if to buy it or not, and where to buy it. And if I come with my children, if this card is benefit for me or not. And if I go to see a football game between Barcelona to Athletic Bilbao, is recommended to buy in advance or not? And our information need to help them to make a decision to buy in advance if you buy in advance, to buy it in the FC Barcelona website or to buy it in one of the tickets market, or to buy it with I forgot the word, the word for this, like sport events, like I will. You understand me? I just Emmanuel, of course, understand me. But I will. The word is coming back to my head in a few seconds. What I try to say is that when you write an article, when you write a post, when you write a Q&A page, when you write a big page, all the time think about this kind of question, and all the time think about how to answer them in the best ways that you can, in the knowledge that you have, in the information that you achieve until now. And all the time think that you have kind of benefit about your reader. Of course, I know that you not visit the destination at all, but they also never visit the destination at all. They don't have any idea about this question. They don't know where to search the information. And I want that you know how to do it. You have idea about Barcelona and you have idea where to find the information. So not be afraid to answer the question. And again, be sure that I will read it. And if I have something to correct or something to add or something to change, I will do it, or Karen will do it. So this is from the asking question. So after we understand the question, we need to understand from where to find the information. And I separate it from two kind of things, from primary resources and all the other stuff. Because you are not going to be in information, you're not reading, you're not student in information, you're not making first degree in information. I not need the terms is not so important to me. So let's separate it for primary source and secondary and third and all the other stuff, all the other source level. When I say primary source, I mean a source that just give you the data as it is. That give you the data as it is, with not, reviewing or things that sometimes also not make any analyze about the data. And I speak about, for example, the official website. For example, when you write in the Camp Nou experiments, or you write a post about the Sagrada Familia, you can all the time go to the original site and read about the history and read about the tickets there, and you can take the information, or to know what, for example, you want to write what is the price for children for Sagrada Familia, is something you can find very easily in the original or the original website. For example, if I'm interested in Barcelona Museum Pass, I can find a lot of data and information in the website of the Barcelona Art Museum card. we can find how much day is good enough. I can see what is the museums that under this card. I can see for how much it costs, and a lot of kind of question. I can use also with our affiliate, because of course when we write about football ticket, and I want to see how much price people need to pay. I want to see if the price of the ticket for one game will be high or low. I can just get into sport events and see how much money they want. And I can understand that the Clásico is expensive game, and the game in the cup game against Barcelona against Murcia will be very cheaper, or not very cheaper or cheapest. So in kind of the game of the team. So I can find a lot of data and information in our affiliate website. I can find also a lot of information in maps, and I will explain myself. It's not work because this is not a good page. Let's go to this one. I hope this is our new map already. Yeah. This is our map that we have. This is the map of our website. All the information need is something that we have. So let's say, Theo, that you write post about destinations that you never visited, you never was there, like Tibidabo Park, okay? So you can go to the page and you can find very easy ways that the Tibidabo Park is here. So even you never visit there, you can see this is north for the city, that is not a part of the city. It's something that not connect, is very far away from the center. You can see that is see the city from above, so it's kind of place that you can see the city under you. You can understand that there is a lot of landmark next to this landmark. It's very unique and very separated from all the other landmark of the city. And you can see it all the next landmark. So you can say even there is not a lot of landmark, but you can combine it, for example, for the science museums that is very, very close, that is also in the north of the city, that is more close to the Tibidabo Park area. You can also try to see if there is hotels there. And you can see that if you write about the hotel that they have in the cities, that you can find there is not a lot of hotels there. We can say that there is just one recommended hotel that we have in this area. There is more, but it's not like the Rambles, for example, that you can find a lot of hotels there. And you can write about what is recommended hotel, what is the name. You can go to read about this hotel if you want, and you can make a lot of information just from this map. You can see the landmarks that we speak. You can see also restaurant, if there is a recommended restaurant that next to the area, or a shopping area. And you can see that actually the Tibidabo Park is not have a recommended area for shopping or restaurant. And again, it's really because it's not in the center of the city. So just from these things, you can write a lot of information about this place just to see this map, just to see where it is. You can also go more inside and to see the metro station. And you can understand that they have a metro station that not in the hub area, and you understand the metro is down on the hill. So you understand that if I can now explain to you that if you understand that the metro is not here, but you can understand that you can take from the metro, you can read about it, and you can find that from this metro have a pinacolars that get up to the hill, to the Tibidabo mountain, or Tibidabo hill, sorry. And you can understand how to get. So you can say that if you want to get to this area, it's very recommended to take to the metro, to that called Cosmocasia Barcelona metro. And then from the Cosmocasia, take the pinacolars that get you up to the hill. And again, you can see it also just from the map. And if you can, I can give you all the information that you can also see the bus if you get more inside. You can see that there is a big bus station here. That if you click on it, you can see there is what is the line that get to the area, and you can see that other line from here, another line here. So when you write about this area, you can explain how to get there. And again, just using with a map, you have wonderful 1 or 2 paragraphs that you can provide just from seeing this map. And you can say to me, Yoad, but all our users can see this map. And I say to you, you're right, but not all of them can understand how to read it. I want you that more of the time you can read it by yourself. How to read a map is very, very good skills to people that use with tourism, because map and the GIS, the geographical information, is really, really important. And you can use not just about our web map, you can use about Google Map, you can use with Booking Map or TripAdvisor Map. So there is a lot of map in the areas that you can use them. And map can give you a lot of information just to read it right. And this is kind of things that I speak about first, or primary source. All of this is, you know, data that you can see, and you can make your analyze and your review about just see it, and you make information just to see it. You can also targeted groups of Barcelona in forum or blogs that people will write. We'll speak about it more in the secondary source because I think it's more important. And you can see photo. Photo can give you a lot of information about the place. Let's say that I want you to write about Casa Terrades. To be honest, I never been in Casa Terrades in Barcelona. I never been there. But I want you to write a few words about, you want to write about this, I want you to write about this destination, and you want to write few words about the design of this building. So you can make in Google research of Casa Terrades. And you can see this photo. And you don't need to take this photo. But when you write and you have primary source, and then you see the photo, you can say a lot of things about the design just with looking about photo. You can speak about the roof, about the way how the roof is designed. You can speak, if you see more photo and you see more, I can tell you that you can see also how the entrance of the building is very unique. And you can say a lot of things. You never been there, but when you speak about architectural, just see the photo and you can write in few words about it. And again, you know that people that really visited after will read it. But again, see how much data you can get from this photo. You can see the entrance, you can see the roof from inside. You can see what you see when you are in the building himself, and so on and on. And you can use with map and photo and also with video and understand the destination and write about it. Very good content, even you never been there. Even you never been there. You can use, again, with photo, you can see a group. But what's important to say is that primary source is not enough, for my opinion. The advantage of primary source is that it never lie. Because this is the price of the tickets. This is the price of what children pay, and this is the price of what all the people pay. The map never lie. This is the place where the landmark is. The Casa Ballo is in the Passeig de Gracia street. It's never lie. The photo never lie. This is the way the building it is. But you can get to basic information if you just use primary source. Because of it, I want you to use also with secondary and three source. I cannot say the word it's hard to me to just say it, but you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
This kind of sources are less. They can lie, and actually you depend about how others see this issue, and because of it, not all the time you can, you know, not all the time you agree with them, not all the time they are right, but they can give you a lot of interesting information. And I speak about forums and social media that today is very, very strong because, for example, in TripAdvisor, you can find thousands of recommended and disrecommended about every issue that we deal. And you can find, for example, tickets, football tickets in Barcelona. You can find, I think, in TripAdvisor, I don't know, 1 million people that write about something. If you try to find information about the Casa Batlló or some landmark in Barcelona, there is sometimes 2,000 or 3,000 reviews about it. Some of them think it's best place to visit. Some of them think it's waste of time and money. Some of them think it's beautiful. Some of them is not unique. So you cannot take someone recommended and just copy paste it. It's not good enough. Also, it's lie. Also, it's copy paste and it's not good. And also from perspective of forgot the word. It's not by the law. They can sue us if you do it. I don't want you to copy paste the information that you will find in forums and social media, but I want you to understand the environment, understand how other people see it, and how other different groups of visitors see it. For example, if I am disability tourist and I write review about Park Güell, it's very, very helpful to read this review, and it gives us a lot of information how disability tourists feel this landmark. And if I come with the children and I say this is waste of time and is not good for children, and the other one say is good for children, I didn't say to you choose one of them, but you can write that the idea of to come with the children can be separated the idea. There is separated idea. Some think is good. Some people think is not good. We think that is good if your children are interested in art or architecture. This is a fantastic sentence, for example, to Picasso Museum or to Juan Miró Museum, because this kind of museum, there is people that come with their children and they say this is the best place that they visit in Barcelona, and some of them say that their children was all the time want to leave this place and say it's boring. It's really recommended to understand these two ideas and two review and two perspective, and to understand how we make analyze on it and understand the situation. Because you not find a lot of people that come with children and say Porta Ventre is not good for children. Most of the people that come with children say it's a fantastic place and it's a good attraction to come with your children. But in Picasso Museum, you find two kind of idea. So you understand that Porta Ventre is very good for most of 90% of the families that visit the city. But the Picasso Museum have a different group that speak for some of them. Some of them love this place, and some of them don't love them. And I want you to understand what kind of tourists like this place when they come with the children, and what kind of tourists not like it. Most of the time it depends about how much, what is the character of their children, and also the parents, if they're interested in art or not, if the children, familiar with museum or not, because not all the children love it. You can find in all of the affiliate website, and I speak about sport events and booking and Viagogo and all our affiliate website, you can find a lot of review. When you write about hotel, you can find a lot of review in all our affiliate. Hotel Combine, affiliate window, not affiliate, Expedia, booking, of course. So I don't want you to copy paste it. It's waste of time, is not good from SEO perspective, is actually breaking the law. And some of them can sue us and can very angry about us if we copy paste the review. But we can understand the environment. We can understand how different people look at it, what we can learn from it. For example, if you write about some hotel, and you can find 6 or 7 people that say they have problem with noise in the street, you understand that this hotel have a problem of noise for some of the traveler, and you can write it. You don't need to copy paste the review. You just understand that this hotel have a problem with noise, and it's recommended to check it before you buy this hotel, or before not buy, order it. And of course, I speak with blogs and YouTube and communities, unique digital communities. For example, not just group of Barcelona. It can be football fans that sometimes write about, football tourism, or people that are interesting about architectural tourism, or marathon, sports tourism, and you write about marathon in Barcelona. So all of this kind of source, you can find fantastic information, and I really want you to do so when you write content and you make the content. But what I want you to do is how to deal with this kind of issue. Don't take it as it is. Take it and analyze it. Take it and make these sources and build a new content that depend on this kind of sources. You understand how people see it. You understand how people review it. Now, make your analyze and say, what do you think after you make this analyze? And again, for all this process, you can do it even you never visit any site, this site. Even you never see it by yourself. Still, look at it like you make your plan to visit Barcelona, or if to visit this site or not, or to buy this card or not, or make this process by yourself. And try to understand how you do it and what is for you, and try to do the same way and help people to do it for them. And again, I'm understanding that not all of our reader is like you. You understand who is this reader and what is interesting them and what they ask. And again, I don't want to repeat on it. But again, you can make this information even you never visit the destination. Even you can write about football ticket in Barcelona, even if you never visit the place, if you understand this process and if you understand how to find this information, this data. And when I speak about analyze, I make first to make integration. You don't write in sentence, you make something integration, you write explanation. For example, after you all read and make all this analyze, you explain about the place, you explain about how to visit it, you explain how to visit in other places. You don't say, I read this place and that's what he say. You don't just use this one sentence, you make integration. You make integration and you design actually your information. And when you do so, you make a new information. Even all your information is dependent about place that you read. Also, you can use with familiarity, your familiarity about with area. And when I speak about familiar with the area, I speak even if you not visit Barcelona in your life, because what I can say is that when you write about destination, you understand more the city. And sometimes you read about, for example, if you write about Sagrada Familia, and now you deal with Casa Batlló, you have a lot of familiarity with Barcelona and the architecture in Barcelona that help you to understand more the information. And your analyze need to combine it. You need to use with familiarity with Barcelona about what we speak, about what we learn, about what you write in the past. And this way you design your content. And of course, periodic knowledge, if you visit the city, if you read about it, if we speak about it. And again, another thing that very, very important is to take this content and take this data and write it for our reader. Because it's one thing to say, the Sagrada Familia is a fantastic place to visit. Another thing to say, Sagrada Familia is very popular place to visit Barcelona. A lot of tourists like it. We recommend it to you if you have a time and money to visit inside the church. But if you not have time of money, because it's very beautiful from outside, we really recommend you just, if you not have the time to get in and spend 2 hours, 3 hours inside the church, just to see it from outside. Because this, even if the outside is a very interesting place. So you use with the same information that you find from every place, and you make new information about this analyze, because you understand our user. Is one thing that you can find that someone write in TripAdvisor, sentence like, I wait in the Sagrada Familia 2 hours in the line. And I recommended to buy the ticket in advance. And now you take it and you understand our user. And you understand their fear, that they have fear from one perspective to stay in the line, and from other perspective to to spend money. And you take what is say, and you take the information that you have in your website and our affiliate website, and you understand that when you buy a tickets in advance, you pay more. So you can build your sentence like this. The Sagrada Familia have a long line even in the winter. So we recommend you that if you want to save the time, to order the tickets in advance, even if it takes you more money. Because we think that if you have a time limited, it's better to pay more, 2 or 3 euro, and well, I confused with the sentence, and to save a time. This kind of saying and this kind of structure of data that you provide to our group or our readers, that you understand the dream and the fear, with the information that you find somewhere else, make it like original information that's very good, and you can provide it if you never visit Barcelona at all. Okay? Another thing that is really understanding, is really important to understand, is that in the information theory, we have what we call spiral thinking. What do I mean spiral thinking? When you are right about, let's say, Emmanuel, you work now about tickets. Am I right?
I don't think he's with us any longer.
Oh, the line is break. Okay. But he not send me a link. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I will send him a mail, and we proceed, and join us when he can. I think maybe he have a problem in his Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But Theo, I understand that you are with me.
Yes.
Okay. So I use with this break to ask if everything is clear and I explain myself right.
Yes, I understood everything.
Oh, fantastic. So I just send him a mail. Just a second. Let me send it from here. No, he's not with us, and he not see also the presentation. So I think he have disconnecting in his internet.
Oh, yes, maybe.
Okay. Send him the link so it make it easy for him.
Okay.
And what I try to say about spiral of knowledge is something that I know for now that you not feel comfortable to to write a post with any direction, or to write information about a picture.
Oh, I don't feel comfortable.
No, I say even you feel, if you don't feel, you is not easy now, when it will come more easy in the future.
Okay.
Because when, for example, you read about Sagrada Familia and you read about Gaudi history and you understand it, and now you need to write about Casabalio or the Casamila or other place that connected to Gaudi. So you can connect it between these two stuff and make new information. For example, let's think about sentence like in the Sagrada Familia you can find a lot of symbols that related to animal. Okay,
Yeah.
But if you have this spiral, you can say this is kind of symbols that Gaudi do, and you can find it also in the Casamela and Casabalio. These three words can make it a different information to your reader. And that's what I mean spiral, but it's not just about, Gaudi. It's also, for example, in ticket perspective. Because when you deal with Sagrada Familia and buy in advance, and you understand the dynamic of buying a ticket in advance, that most of the time it costs more money, but it's, take you the opportunity to jump over the line. So it's true also in Casaballo, it's true also in the Camp Nou, and a lot of other places that there is a line there, or the Picasso Museum. So what you need to know, if there is a line, the landmarks that you write or not, because the life of the online ticket is the same when you buy it in advance. It's more money, and you need to be sure where you come, so it's less flexible. You cannot say, okay, I will find if I want to come in Monday or Saturday, I will, wake up in the morning and decide if I go to the place or not. But it saves you time and money, and to be honest, also in Park Güell today is actually sometimes the only way to get in, because the place is, this is full of charge sometimes if you just come to the park. But when you have this spiral and you understand the dynamic of online ticket, it's provide you the opportunity to make a new information from what you find in other sources. You say you see someone read about hotel in the Passage de Gracia, and he say this hotel was very noisy, sorry. But if you just use with this sentence, actually the user not understand the full picture. But if you know that all the hotel in this street have a problem of noise, you understand that the noise is not in the hotel itself, it's something that outside from the hotel. So you can say that you need to see that you can say this hotel have a problem of noise, like all the other hotel in this area, because the street is noisy and there are a lot of car and people in the streets go in the summer. So what we recommended to you, to be sure before you order that your room have windows that close to noise. And you know that it is something that's important in hotel, and you need to know that it's something that in the street. So when you have all this information, you have spiral of knowledge that you can make new information just about what you read and what your knowledge that you get. And we come from perspective that your spiral of knowledge is better from your reader all the time. It's something that if it's not now, it will happen in the future. Okay?
Yes.
That's what I want to explain. And I know it's taking time, because every time that you know something else, something new about Barcelona, about tourism, about content in tourism, about our reader, about our affiliate, it's make you more and more expert that you can do this stuff.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
So that's what I mean. That's I want you to make this analyze and to make the information. Take all the data you find, make this integration, use with your prior knowledge and the familiarity that you have with the area, and try to know and how to make to this information that you find or the data that you find in other sources. Try to think about our reader, about our audience, and the subgroups that we have, and try to make this information good for them, and make for them all this process of thinking, of understanding, and use with all this spiral of knowledge that you have about the city, about tourism, about affiliate marketing, about affiliate that work with us, like Booking, like Expedia, and then build your content. And all of this process can lead you to make a new content, even you never been in Barcelona, you never been in the destination. So that's what I mean when I mean to make this analyze. And in the last slide, in this slide, I try to explain to you how the way the thinking is that most of the time we write this information. So because it's not enough to make this analyze, when we speak about information, is the way that we found this information, we make an analyze, and then is really, really important the way how we write it and how we send it to our user. So the way that we build is like, oh, I forgot the word in English. Just a second, I will find the word. Just a second, sorry.
No problem.
Mashpech. My wife asked me what the word I mean. I say to her, and she doesn't know also. Maybe funnel? Funnel? No. Maybe. Just a second. Funnel. The Google Translate say it's funnel, but I don't think it's the real word. It's like you starting from wide and you go in narrow and narrow and narrow. And
okay, I understand.
Okay. So you start in wide way. You start with introduction, and the introduction you need to make to the user to understand that you understand them and what you're going to speak about the next stuff. And sometimes introduction is 2 paragraphs, sometimes is 1 paragraph, sometimes is 2 words. In the Facebook, we do it very, very small. For example, when you write about Sagrada Familia and you speak about, 1 photo, you start it in wide, sometimes in 2 words. Sagrada Familia, one of the interesting architectural place, and then you go directly to the point. Sometimes it's 3 or 2 words, the introduction. The introduction started for something very wide. We speak in the introduction, we try to explain about what is the issue that we're going to deal, what is the problems that we want to solve, what is the questions that we want to answer, and that we try to show our users that we understand them sometime. For example, to buy an advance tickets for Sagrada Familia can be very good question for tourists that want to know if it's good or not. This can be introduction for Q&A page, or also a post in the Facebook, like when you put a picture of line of people that stand and you open with this kind of question. When you use with this kind of question, you also explain what the meaning of this post. People that will start reading understand what they're going to read, and you really show to your reader that you understand them, because you understand the fear, the willingness, what they want to achieve. And now we're going to a point that we speak about what we see and what we understand, what we saw. So you say, and let's take the example of line in the Sagrada Familia post, and you say to buy and order the tickets. This is a question, is good, very big question of tourists that want to visit the city. And then you started to give what you see, what is the real situation. Like, you can find a Sagrada Familia big line even in the winter. This is a fact. You not say what you think about it. You don't say what you recommend. You just say what is the fact. There is a big line in the Sagrada Familia that can take sometimes 1 hour or 2 hours. And it can make some of the tourists feel that they waste their time. Until now, we just say the fact. Am I right? We don't say what we think about the situation. We just say what is the situation. And then we say how we think the situation. It's still not recommended. We just see how, give us our process of thinking about the situation. So, and you can provide with sentence like, we think that waste of time can make big feeling about you. It can make you sometimes miss this landmark just because you don't waste the time. You can see the big line and then leave Sagrada Familia, and we think it's very bad because we think it's a beautiful place. You can say that we're thinking that some of our tourists will want to pay more money just to save the time. So still, you don't say what to do. You just say how you analyze the situation. What is your understanding for the situation? In the 4th stage, in the last stage, you actually recommend them to people what to do, and actually you really answer to people. And there is no recommended like buy in advance ticket, because it's not as really recommended. Because not for anyone is good to buy in advance. Because if I, have 2 months in Barcelona and I have time, the problem of me is not time, I'm a student, and I don't have the money. I have the time, but I don't have the money. So this is not a good recommended for me. We need, or if I come, in the winter, in the morning, and sometimes the line will not be, not be so problems there. Or I tourists that want to save, money, and I really don't care about the time. It's kind of my, vacation to stay in the time. There is tourists like this. They say I don't have a problem to wait 1 hour in the line. It's kind of it's a kind of the tour. We play in the line, we spend the time, we really enjoy for it. So it's not, or another situation that our user doesn't know where is good time to visit the Sagrada Familia, because if you buy in advance, you need to say when you come, what is the date and what hour. And there is tourists that don't know when they can come. They want to be flexibility, or they need to be flexible, because they cannot, organize everything on the minutes and way to come. So when you build the recommended, you build it by understanding the situation and saying something like this: if you can find the dates, and when you come to the Sagrada, and you don't want to waste your time, and your willingness to pay about it more money, we recommend it to buy in advance. If you want to achieve money and you don't care from your time, you can wait in the line, or maybe try to come very, very early in the morning. Of course, you come in the winter and not in vacation, the line will not be very long. And if you are not flexible, and if you need to be flexible with your dates that you visit, you don't have really not opportunity. You not have any way to buy in advance, because if you buy in advance, online advance the tickets, you must to say when you come. So you will recommend you just to come to see the Sagrada, and if the line is not so long, try to get in. So you build the recommended by recommended to every unique of subgroups that read us, and you give another recommended from him. You not say just, buy ticket in advance, because it's not really good recommended, because it's not good for most of the people. Not all for the people. Okay? But the way that you design it by introduction, and then what you see or understanding, what is the fact, how you see it in the 3rd stage, and in the 4th stage, make the recommended that depend about all this process, make very good information and not data. This way can answer people question, make people, help them to act or behavior or choose or make the decision. And this is way that I try to explain, that we organize the data for kind of propose, and every data that we make, we have kind of propose that we want to achieve. And this is the way that we design our information. And actually, you can make all this stage, even you're not visiting Barcelona at all. Of course, every one of them will be less good than if you visit and you know the city and you know the landmark. Because of it, I don't give you to work alone. What I need from you is you build the basis, and I, provide and give my direction after, maybe change things and so on and on. But I want you to build the information in all these 4 stage. What introduction, what you see, what you understand from what you see, and what the fact, and what you recommended to our reader. I think that's all. If everything is clear, of course, I just come back to you.
Yes, everything is clear for me.
Yeah, I mean, I was away for a second there.
Yeah, you come back to us.
Yeah, I did. I spilled my coffee on my laptop, so I
Well,
had to shut it down.
oh, this is not good. This is really
Yeah,
not.
not good at all.
This is.
No, no.
I hope you're not using your computer now.
No, I'm using my cell phone.
Oh, fantastic. I think that the best things that you need to do now is to put your computer in, in the side and
Oh
not use it
man.
one day until it will be completely, without
Yeah,
water.
I hope so because my accounting programs are in there, are on my laptop, so I'm screwed.
No, this is very bad news. I, I, I hope for you it uh, will be okay. I hope.
I hope
I,
to. Yeah,
I,
I have two laptops that are for backup, but that's not good.
no. So you have any question? You want to add something? You want?
Yeah, well, I understood. I believe I missed like 15 minutes, but
So you can see
I
the
will
record. You can see the
yeah,
record.
yeah,
So
I will look at the record.
uh,
But from what I understood. From what I heard, I understood pretty much everything.
it's really important to me, and be honest here. I just stop the video. You don't need it anymore.